Today at Straitway. Well, today, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, this is Pastor Dowell. I'm actually going to do a video, and I'm going to name anywhere between 10 and 16 things that you will need to have on your person or in your homestead or storage or on your community or land before the proverbial crap hits the fan, or the SHTF, or the Great Depression, or just in case of a food crisis or economic depression. You may want to stay tuned and listen to this particular video and pass it around to as many people as you can possible. Now, I live out in the country, and my mindset is a hell of a lot different than those who live in the city. So I'm actually doing this video to help all the people who do not have or possess the ability to think outside of normal everyday life in order to help you think and be able to prepare and get yourself ready for what's coming in America, to a city, to a township, or to a county near you. Okay, number one on the list would be a water filtration system. Here in our community right here, we have a big Berkey, and we probably have a couple other things too, but not only a big Berkey will come in very, very handy in order for you to be able to have clean drinking water that you can actually filter. Sure, there's plenty of water. There's an abundant supply of water east of the Mississippi. But when it comes to west of the Mississippi, there's not an abundant supply of water. And just because you see water, a pond, standing water anywhere, or a creek, or a so-called creek that is spring-fed, that doesn't mean that you have actually have clean water to be able to drink that will not get you sick. I mean, there's cysts, there's pathogens, there's all kinds of things that you can't see with the naked eye, that if you try to drink that water, it will literally kill you or make you wish you were dead. So a water filtration system, and also like stocking up on a bunch of life straws and things like that, wow. You cannot beat that. You cannot beat it at all. Not only the filtration system right here, but also having the ability to be able to store the water as well. We call this number two, but remember, I'm not putting this in any particular order. I'm just trying to inform us right now, all of us, including those who have never even probably thought about it. But let's just say number two, long-term food storage that's already stored. Long-term food storage. Not only that, learning how to be able to can your own food as well. You see, you're not going to be able to jump into a vehicle, run to the grocery store, into the population centers, into a city or town near you, because the shelves are going to be bare. But if you've done your due diligence and you paid attention to all the warnings that I've given and other people have given warnings, you would be wise, listen to a wise man, and stock up for long-term food storage. Okay, definitely not in third place, maybe in second place, could be first. To others, it depends. But having weapons and ammo, the ability to be able to defend yourself in a SHTF situation. I mean, after all, it's one thing to possess weaponry. It's another thing to have a stockpile of ammo. But the real true test is this. How proficient are you? Do you know anything about pulling security? Do you know how to secure your person? Do you know how to secure those who you love, their person? Can you protect your property? Are you individually, technically, and tactically sound? Are you proficient? I mean, do you know your way around this weapon? Do you know how to shoot distances, long distances, short distances? You know how to engage, disengage? You know, it's one thing to own weapons, and it's another thing to have a whole bunch of ammo. But let me tell you something. Owning weapons and just having ammo without the proper training is not going to give you the ability to be able to be ready if the SHTF hits the fan, or we're in a Great Depression again upon us, or if there's a necessary food crisis. Because when this stuff does happen, all these benevolent neighbors that you have around you that you believe to be so trustworthy and so honorable and stuff, you're going to find out they're not the friends or the neighbors who you think that they are. I promise you they're not. And they're going to want to come and take what you have. That's the reason why
being mutually assisted with other groups and trustworthy groups where you meet constantly. Let's say 2-3 times a month if you're living in a long distance, or being able to live with people that are within a 5-mile range to where if you had to, you could walk to their position and you could protect each other. All these are things that need to be not only discussed, but trained on and practiced in order to get yourself ready for a proverbial crap hit the fan situation. So there's much to be desired, a lot to think about. I'm trying my best to give you just a short video of what we, the country folks and the veterans and different people who live on different homesteads and communities are doing. Hopefully that it will be able to put a defibrillator on some of you people's mind who actually live in these population centers and in the cities. I just know human nature in itself, and it literally can't be trusted. So I hope that I've said something right here that would at least inspire you to have a weapon that you're proficient in, a primary and a secondary, and ammo. Okay, we can say number 4. Again, there's no particular order right here, all right? It's just to make sure that you're informed. Medical supplies. You need all types of medical supplies because having the luxury of being able to run to a physician or to go to the hospital or to a clinic, it may not even be available. Roads may be shut down. There may be a roving mob out there that prevents you and keep you from actually getting to a destination to seek medical attention or medical care. You need to learn how to be proficient in actually doing things that would help preserve you and the loved one or someone else. I mean, anything. Learn how to apply a tourniquet. Stock up on medical supplies, such as antibiotics. Make sure you go to the store, and there's a whole bunch of over-the-counter medications that you can buy today that will store long. You know that the winter is coming. Buy things that will help you with congestion, the common colds and flus and coughs and sniffles and things like that. You know that springtime is coming and pollen is going to be coming in the air. So what else do you need? You probably need some of these over-the-counter medications that will help you with hay fever or that has pollen or whatever it is. You know, these things we need to think about. And of course, I can be very extensive, which I probably will be a little bit later on in the video about certain things that you really, truly need to have on hand. But when it comes to, you need alcohol, you need witch hazel, you need galls, you need Kotex. For those of you who understand exactly what I mean, the reason why you need an abundant supply of them. You need butterflies. You need butterflies to be able to close up wounds. You need medical glues. You need sutures. You need scissors. I can go on and on and on and on. Let your own imagination fit the particular criteria where you're at to be able to help others, just in case there's a need for medical attention. Get you a bag, a medical kit, a medical bag. You can go on Amazon, you go to any one of these survival areas, and they've got a bunch of them out there that will be able to assist you if you need medical assistance or you're able to provide aid with someone in case we are all in a crap hit the particular fan scenario. Okay, another one, and I'm gonna stop at the numbers, okay? I'm just gonna give you, I'm gonna say just another thing to consider. The ability to be able to catch water, whether it be off a roof or you have some type of system manually that water can actually fill up a tank to store water to be able to water your gardens in case you're not close by a creek, or if you don't have the manual backhoes, again, gathering 5-gallon buckets and walking to the creek and then putting water on your garden. You need the ability to be able to store water. Okay, I guess we'll just go ahead and make the last video number 5. Maybe it's going to help some people. I thought about it for a second while I went to our implement building. Let's say number 6. Listen, it's obvious that you're not always going to be able to have machinery. And you're not going to be able to always have the fuel to be able to fuel the machinery, and much more than that. You probably won't even have the ability to be able to go and get spare parts in order to make machinery run. But you know what you can always have? Implements, tools, shovels, rakes, hoes, post hole diggers, right here. Manual saws, brooms. I mean, we can go on and on and on. You need these manual implements in order to be able to survive, to till the garden, to get things ready. Because if not, how many hands are stronger than steel? How many people's hands can actually be out here and do a better job than these implements can? And if you got a good welder on the land, then have them to weld you some nice, strong steel implements. But either way it goes, you're going to need some implements. We're going to call this particular one number 7 and 8. The ability to be able to grow food, not only to grow food, but to grow it under plastic to keep you safe from the hurt, harm, and dangers of chemical trails and everything else that they're spraying in the air. You know, you can't speak enough about having the ability to raise your own garden and to provide your own food for you and those who you love. And also, while you're raising this food, teach the little ones exactly how to garden as well, so you can pass on a skill to them. And then they can pass on the skill to their children's children. Because you know just as well as I do, we're not always going to be able to go to the produce section and be able to get fresh vegetables from the garden. Not only to have the ability to grow it under plastic, but also to have the ability to grow gardens right here outside as well. And an abundant amount of food to where you have berries, you have broccoli, you have collards, you have greens, you have fruit trees, pears and apples. You know, I really wish that a lot of people could have started this a long, long time ago, but we really sincerely are going to need food. And the grocery store is definitely not going to be an option during this time. And of course, the next one would be having the ability to store seeds. Now, of course, most people don't know about seeds. You think you just go in there and pick up a package of seeds, they're seeds. But you need to be looking for heirloom seeds. The reason being is because you can grow your food and then you can actually let some of them go to seed and then store them for the next growing season. And if you need a cool place to be able to store them and electricity is down or the grid is down, well, let me give you an old cachet method. You can actually go out and buy you 3 to 4 inch PVC and get some caps for both ends. Dig it about 4 to 6 feet down in the ground with a post hole or a shovel. And that way, when you put it down that deep in the ground, you automatically have a cooling system for your seeds to be able to be stored. And when your seeds are able to be stored, you can preserve them not only through the spring and summer, but also through the winter and through the fall. So you need that ability to know how to grow your own food and to be able to store. Number 9, be able to have the ability to grow your own livestock. Use it for bartering. Chickens, sheep, goats, cows. That's if you're a carnivore. But if you're a vegan or vegetarian, hey, you can use these for bartering. There will be always someone available that are meat eaters that would love to be able to trade goods and services with you. So having your ability to have your own livestock, your own food is going to be paramount. I mean, bartering is going to be the new wave. Money is going to fail. Money is going to fail. When money faileth, the new money is going to be tangible assets, such as things that have value, such as livestock, food. And we're going to go on to the next one in another video. Well, we're going to get it a little bit later. But livestock in this particular video, you need it to be able to eat for your own self if you choose to, and also use it as a bartering tool. Number 10, look, having the ability to have your own pond, which is also another long-term food storage. And it's also a good thing to have because, watch this, number 10 in having a pond, you've got your own fish. We've got this pond right here stocked with bluegill and with bass and crappie. So guess what else goes along with this particular pond right here? Well, you got to be able to get the fish, don't you? So go out and buy you some poles, buy some fishing line, get some hooks, get some rooster tails, get you a net, get anything that you can in order to be able to retrieve fish from the water. See, most people never think about this. Or if you don't have your own pond, hey, I'm sure that the game warden is going to be busy and he's not going to be worried about chasing people around to see if they have licenses or not. So if I give you a pole and I teach you how to fish, you've learned how to fish and you don't have to bug Pastor Dowell or nobody else that has that skills because you've already implemented yourself. Go out, buy you a fishing pole, get you some reels, get you some rods, get you some hook, line, and sinkers and some floats. and learn how to fish, because this is an excellent spring, summer, winter, and fall food source. Number 11, which easily could be number 1 or 7, if you know what I mean. Worship. To be able to get together and to keep spirituality and keep morale up and to keep faith in uncertain times and to stay close to the creator universe is always number 1. It just happened to fall in line because I started at the bottom of the hill, now I'm at the top of the hill while making these particular videos. But to have the ability to be able to praise and to worship and to learn about the Most High God and where we at, and have the ability to be able to discern good from evil and right from wrong, you can never go wrong with that. So number 11 could easily be number 1 or number 7, worship. Number 12, hey, listen, in uncertain times, proverbial crap hits the fan, SHTF, you have chaos going everywhere, people trying to rob and steal and take everything you got. There has to have, and there must be some type of downtime. You can have a security force or a police force to be able to protect the saints, but being able to have the ability to be able to relax sometime, to have some entertainment, play board games, sit down and have a good meal with each other and fellowship and just trying to get your mind off of everything else in order to try to build up a positive environment and keep strong morale, you have to have some entertainment, do some singing, do some dancing, do some shouting, anything to help keep the morale up of the individual or the people or the group as a whole. So you can't ever, ever, ever forsake having some fun, some rest, and recreation. Number 13, listen, you can never, ever, ever underestimate the power of alcohol, whether you consume it, drink it, or not. Hey, you gotta have it during uncertain times. This is a perfect bartering tool right here, because some people, they can't live without it. But also, look at the benefits, particularly vodka. It doesn't have to be this brand. You can get the cheapest brands you can possible. You know the reason why? Because you can make tinctures out of them. You can always use some wild crafting, some bush crafting skills, go out into the woods, gather you up some herbs if you understand the significance of herbs and you can identify them, but you can use this to make tinctures. You can also use vodka as an astringent. You can pour it on wounds. There's so many things you can do. This one right here, whiskey for entertainment. Hey, check it out. What if you don't have any pain relievers or anything and somebody gets injured or hurt or something like that and you need to do a particular out in the field surgery on them, such as addressing some type of wound and stuff. Hey, give them some strong drink right there. It'll help them with the pain. So alcohol, using it for bartering, is also for medicinal reasons and purposes to be able to make your own particular natural herbs or tinctures. You can't beat it in uncertain times, especially when craps hit the proverbial fans. And not only that, you have some neighbors that they will walk 10, 15, 20 miles to be able to trade some goods and services or something to be able to barter with you just for one bottle of alcohol. Well, I know a lot of people may have virgin ears and they may not want to hear this, but I'm going to do just a little bit of preaching to you here, and I'm actually going to give you the reasons why. You know, the Bible speaks that there's going to be a woe upon them that are with child and those that give suck in those days. Well, what days is that? That's the days of tribulation. And anytime that we are in a scenario or situation to where the proverbial crap has hit the fan, or SHTF, or depression, or food crisis or shortage, listen, the last thing you want to be doing in a time like this is having babies. So you may want to stock up on some type of contraception. You may want to sincerely think about that, because it's not going to be a fun time when you have to protect your family in case you need to run, or you may need to get up from one place and bug out to another on a mutual assistance group. And if you have a baby or a child making noise in the wood and you can't calm it because it's uneasy and it's unrest and it needs a diaper change or it needs breastfeeding or something like that, it could give up your position. And you know just as well as I do, you don't need to have the whole position compromised because a baby just simply can't keep quiet. So contraception is something sincerely that what people should actually really think about in uncertain times like this. Because the book is just flat out true. I'm not saying that people should stop having babies, but you should consider especially during a time like this? Do you want to bring a child into this type of environment in this world, or you just want to wait until the storm is over with after you've weathered the storm and then be able to raise a family in peace and not during stress and duress or even in time of war? So consider what I say when I'm talking about contraception. You may want to go out and stock up on a bunch of it for the protection of you, your homestead, your community, and possibly even your family, your immediate family right now. All right, number 15, wood. If you live in the South, and I'm sure up north can actually preach to us and tell us a whole lot better about cold weather than we can, you're not going to be able to depend on heating oil. You're not going to be able to run and have the gasoline truck out in the country come and fill up your tanks. The kerosene truck is not coming. He's not coming. You're not going to have the heating oil. You're going to have to go back to old-fashioned ways, old-fashioned values, because the truth is the cold can kill you and make you very uncomfortable. So wood, one of the most natural resources in abundance that we have here in North America, is something that you definitely want to stock up on. We're kind of a little bit behind this year because we burned so much last year because we wasn't expecting for it to be that cold in the winter to extend that long. But we're getting ready to get into overdrive in order to be able to store up wood, because I'm not satisfied until we have at least 2 or 3 year supply of wood on hand. But wood will keep you warm, keep everybody happy, and keep them satisfied. Not only that, when the electricity is down or the grid is down, if you get your cast iron stove, which you should have in every single homestead, you could be able to cook a hot meal and stay warm at the same time. So wood is definitely something that never ever should be overlooked in such a time as this. Wood. All right, we'll go ahead and end it on this one right here. I appreciate y'all actually taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to an old country preacher like this. Just trying to do my part to help make sure that I try to keep a defibrillator on the minds of not only the people that are informed about situations like these, but the uninformed, the people who have never even probably even had a consideration or even a possibility to even think this way. But anyway, this is not last but not least, but this is 2 things you should consider. Since most of us don't know how to start a fire without a lighter, go and stock up on an abundant supply of lighters. But this particular one on number 16 is bows and arrows. Bows and arrows. There may be a time that you done shot so much, hopefully not, but it could be. And if you don't have a stockpile of ammo, the one thing about bow and you have a bunch of arrows is you could retrieve them if you're hunting for food, or if you're defending your position. You can always retrieve them and use them again. Don't forget the tips. Don't forget the wings. Don't forget things that will cause you to have good maintenance upon your bow as well and make it serviceable. At least one thing, you don't have to worry about too many spare parts with a bow and arrows you would with an AR-15 primary weapon, or your secondary weapon, be it a Glock or a SIG, or if you choose to use a shotgun. But bows and arrows, man, stealth, quiet, lethal, and you can also retrieve it again, use it again to be able to fight or to be able to kill in order to preserve your family with food for another day. So I hope that I've said something to stimulate thought with each and every last one of you. I just thought I'd do my part. I hope that y'all pass this video around to other people. We can only tell you what Straitway and Pastor Dowell and all the other communities of Straitway are doing in these days, time, and hour, and we're trying to do our best to inform you so that you don't have to be out here in the situation unprepared. Consider what I say. May the Most High give you understanding. Shalom, the King is coming.